Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Broadview Public Library's Rainbow Reads. It is Tuesday, October the 13th today, and I am excited and nervous to talk about today's Rainbow Read. So for October, we decided to read The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi for our Rainbow Reads. And I am just going to get right into it and talk about this very interesting, amazing, fantastic, awkward, and crazy book that I read. This is my first time ever reading a book by Akwaeke Emezi, but she has written other books that apparently have gotten also rave reviews. This book, I guess, was highly anticipated. It got really good reviews by a lot of people. I don't know who those people are at the moment, but I can find out for you if you would like. But this is Akwaeke Emezi. I think I'm saying her name right. She's a beautiful young lady. I'm sorry. I think that she goes by different pronouns, and forgive me, I haven't gotten this pronoun thing down. So forgive me, I think they go by they. So yes. So this is Akwaeke Emezi and The Death of Vivek Oji. Let's see, it's just the cover of the book that I read. So let's get into this month's Rainbow Reads. So the book starts off with the death of Vivek Oji, and it kind of moves backwards through time, talking about what led up to the death of Vivek Oji. The book starts off, they burned down the market on the day Vivek Oji died. So the novel begins in the aftermath of his death, him being the character that the book is about, hence the title, and all the people in his life and how they were impacted by Vivek and his death, ultimately his death. And how they shaped these characters and how Vivek shaped the world around him with the characters in the book, his mom, his cousins, his friends. So the book takes place in Africa. I want to say Nigeria, but I don't want to say Nigeria because the book talks about the Niger wives. So I want to say Nigeria. Somewhere in Nigeria, this book takes place. So the book is about Vivek. Vivek is the son of, and I'm going to say their names totally wrong. Vivek is the son of Chika, who is his dad, who is an African man. And Chika marries Vivek's mom, who I believe is Indian. Her name is Kavita, and she's an Indian woman. So Vivek is the son of an African man and an Indian woman. Vivek's cousin is named Osata. Osata is the son of Vivek's dad, Chika's brother, and Chika's wife, and his wife, Mary. So Vivek is an only child of Kavita and Chika, and his cousin Osata is the only child of Chika's brother and Mary, his wife. So those two grow up together as close as brothers. You know, they have some scrapes and some scraps along the way, but they grow up as close as brothers. And they grow up in this community of what they call the Niger wives, which are women who have married African men, but who are not themselves of African descent. So Kavita is of Indian descent, and other Niger wives are, I think one of them is of Filipino descent. One, I think, might be American or Scottish or from Wales or the UK. But they've all married these African men, and some have had mixed race children also. So Vivek's friends are these young girls at the time of mixed race. Like one, I think, is Black and African and Filipino. Her name is Juju, who later ends up becoming one of Vivek's closest friends as he gets older. There are two sisters, Samato and Olani. I'm probably pronouncing their names wrong, so forgive me. There's one, Elizabeth, who Osata has a brief crush on or fling with when they're children. This fling with Elizabeth leads to a falling out or a disagreement between Vivek and Osata when they were young. And it leads later on to Elizabeth not liking Vivek because of this incident that occurred between her and Osata and Vivek when they were younger, when they were kids, teenagers, I think. So Vivek has these, I'm not sure what to call them. Vivek has these lapses in his memory where he can't remember certain things, or he'll feel like he's in a daze. And this, his cousin Osata noticed while he was growing up, that he would have these lapses. And one of these lapses led to the incident between him, Vivek, Osata, and Elizabeth when they were growing up as kids, and led to a falling out kind of between Vivek and Elizabeth later on. I'm probably going like all over the place with this book talk, but let me rein it in and get back to just a brief summary of what the book is about. So yes, they're in a town in Nigeria. Vivek, at the beginning of the book, Vivek has died. They bring his body back to his mother's house and leave his body on the front door for his mother to discover that his son's body is wrapped in a fabric, and they've left him at the front door. So what follows is all the pieces of the story that led up to Vivek's death coming together through the eyes of the characters and the people in Vivek's life. Like I said, his mom, his father, his cousin, his friends, in school, the Niger wives, all the people that Vivek has decided to let into his life. And Vivek suffers from these disorienting blackouts. He has moments of disconnection between himself and his surroundings. And as he grows older, he finds comfort in these friendships that he's formed with the children of the Niger wives, with these girls, and his cousin, which is like his brother, Osata. And they form a relationship. And these characters in Vivek's life, these people in his life, all try to understand who Vivek really is, like what he's going through, and give him some type of solace in the world that he doesn't think accepts him, or in a family that he doesn't think will understand his true self. So this story was a little heartbreaking and a little surprising, but I think that some parts of the story were very relatable, no matter what gender you are, no matter what your sexuality is. in that universal feeling of wanting to be accepted, wanting to be around people who love you, who accept you, who make you feel loved, who you are comfortable with being your true self around. And I think that it's what Vivek found with his friends of the Niger wife, these girls that he grew close to when he grew up, and who he found some type of community in, and who loved him and embraced his true self. He didn't have to pretend to be somebody other than Vivek around these girls, around his cousin Osata as they got older, and deal with the expectations of his family about what a male, an African male should be, who an African male should be. And Vivek found solace in these relationships. He found happiness in being himself around his friends. And when Vivek dies, his mother knows that there isn't something quite right about the way her son died. She doesn't know how he died, first of all, and that is a spot of contention for her. She knows that someone knows something, and she spends a lot of time grieving for her son because she doesn't know how he died, and she just wants the truth. And she knows that his friends, Osata, his cousin, and his friends, the girls of the Niger wife that he was with, they know something, but they're not telling her. So she goes on this sort of quest to get answers, and she kind of hounds these girls, their moms, about what happened to Vivek, what happened to my son. Someone knows something. Why aren't you telling me about Vivek? How did my son die? Vivek used to wear this necklace that she gave him, and he never took it off. But when they brought his body to the house, he didn't have the necklace. So his mother knew that something was amiss with the way that her son died, and she just wants to know the truth. So this causes a rift between her and her husband Chika, who deals with his grief of Vivek's death completely differently than his wife Kavita deals with the death of Vivek. So eventually Kavita finds out the truth about what part of the truth about what happened to Vivek. I actually don't think she found out the truth about who killed him. I think that part they deliberately didn't tell us, or they didn't tell Kavita who killed him, but why he was possibly killed, they told her in photographs. They showed her who Vivek really was and what could have possibly caused his death. And at first she finds it unbelievable. She finds it hard to accept that this is who her son really was. But gradually she comes to terms with it. She feels upset that her son couldn't come to her as his mother and tell her the truth about who he was, about why he was unhappy. And she ultimately decides that it's better to love him in death like she couldn't in life, and honor his memory as he wanted to be honored. And she puts aside her own pride and decides to honor her son like he would have wanted to be honored, which I thought was really great to see, to read in this book, because of the strict and oftentimes soul-crushing, things that our parents want for us, and the contradictions that, oh, you should be this way, and you want to do things to make your parents happy, but you also want to live your own life, which was what Vivek wanted. So the fact that his mother kind of put aside her own pride and didn't care what other people thought, but loved her son and wanted to honor her son's memory, despite, any social constraints or any social, intolerance. She honored her son's memory. And I think ultimately his dad did as well. He realized, like, why am I still fighting this? My son is gone. Let's honor him as he wanted to be honored. So yeah, there's a lot of things to possibly break down in this book, without giving too much away. If you want a better, more interesting, or more coherent, maybe I should say, review of this book, I found this YouTube video by, I don't know her real name, but her YouTube is called The Artist in Greek. And I watched this review of her book, of her review of The Death of Vivek Oji. And I thought it was really, really good. I've watched some of her other videos, and I think they're all really, really good videos. So if you're interested in another review of The Death of Vivek Oji, please check this YouTube video of the Artist in Greek book review of Vivek Oji. There are other book reviews. All you have to do pretty much is go on YouTube and just type in The Death of Vivek Oji, and it'll give you some other book reviews. But I really liked hers. I really liked her breakdown of the book. I liked her insight on the book, and I thought she did a really good job of giving a spoiler-free, as it says, review of the book, a coherent review of the book, an interesting review of the book. And that's one of the things that helped me decide, oh, this was a really great book. When you look at other people, you read the book and then you see other people's insight and other people's perspectives about things that you might have missed, or ideas or themes in the book that you might not have caught on to right away. So The Artist in Greek, I don't know her real name, sorry. But hers is a really good, in my opinion, all of this is just my opinion. Hers is a really good book review if you're interested in learning more about the death, hearing more about the death of Vivek Oji. Let's see, these are other books by Akwaeke Emezi. The Death of Vivek Oji is available here at the Broadview Public Library District. If you're interested, we have it in large print and in regular print. So if you are a Broadview resident, if you have a Rails library card, and if you're interested in checking out The Death of Vivek Oji, by all means, we have 2 copies available. We have a copy and system of Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi, which I have not read, nor have I read Pet, but I do have it reserved on Media on Demand. So Freshwater is available in the library system as a physical copy, and her book Pet is available on Media on Demand as an ebook, and I believe an audiobook on Media on Demand. So if you do have a Broadview Public Library District library card, if you are in the Rails system and you have access to Media on Demand, you can go on there and check out these 2 books by Akwaeke Emezi as well. In addition to The Death of Vivek Oji. I don't know what order these books were written in by her, so I don't know. I think The Death of Vivek Oji is her most recent novel, and I think Freshwater could have possibly been her first novel, maybe Pet the second one, but I don't know. I did not look it up, and don't quote me on it. But if you've ever read any book by her and you enjoyed it, these are some of her other books. I do plan to read Pet. It is on my TBR list to read after reading The Death of Vivek Oji, which I did end up loving this book. I did end up liking this book. It's a very emotional, heartbreaking, and complicated book to read. not to read, like the book wasn't complicated, just the story itself seemed complicated. But the book wasn't complicated to read at all. So yeah. So thank you for tuning in to this month's Rainbow Reads. Next month is November. We will be doing the book, Something to Talk About. I probably should have brought the book so I could see who the author of the book is, but I do not know the author of the book. But we'll be doing that. There'll be information posted on the Broadview Public Library's webpage and the Broadview Public Library District's Facebook page for next month's Rainbow Reads. Join us next week when we do book banter at the Broadview Public Library. Hope you enjoyed this brief Rainbow Reads about the death of Vivek by Akwaeke Emezi. Thank you.